Fox and Evelynn, but it's also good because it could be a good counter to the Hextech ultimatum in the Hero's Entrance.
Yeah, true. But the amount of time that is needed to burst down Desire, I'm so looking forward. I'm so looking forward to a one-shot potential coming in from KT. But then again, yeah. Again, talking about Evelynn in a nutshell, right? Like just the fact that you can go past most of the wards in the game, and just the fact that you are also able to drop the tower aggro makes her a very good champion in the meta that we have. It's all about getting the tower dives in the early stages of the game, right? And Evelynn is the perfect champion to do so. The amount of burst that she has as well is a very good thing to have against the squishy champions like the Zeri and the Zyra, the double Z combo here by Cerberus Esports. So it's definitely something to look forward to if you're a G2 Blacklist.
Yep. And now the bans, look at that, they're even banning the Ashe. They're not really letting them get the hold of those CCs, even banning the Yasuo on this side so that the roots coming in from BMM is not going to be stopped. But again, they still have the Alistar option here for Akeno. However, they still need a support on their side. So their priority is going to be... Wait, what is there going to be? Yeah, the Alistar is going to be a first pick here.
Okay, one thing that is needed is a tanky support because there's no way that Cerberus Esports will survive with an Enchanter support. Right? Leaving 3 potential targets for KD, that will be a fiesta overall for the Evelynn. And so this is going to be a very good pick because that is also one way to counteract the Evelynn. You CC her down and that will allow for you to get the killing blow onto a very squishy assassin as well. But this is also a very good pickup by G2 Blacklist. This is going to be the Varus, which is one of the best champions of Golden Cat. They're going for the double marksman here.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage onto the side of G2B. I love this. This composition could really shred down all the tanks that they could put out on the side of Cerberus. The Cerberus, what is their answer gonna be once this Corki gets picked up to their side? Because they still don't have a jungler on their name. A Shen could be an open option here, but they would be losing in the damage department. But Kha'Zix is going to be picked up, which is the usual answer whenever you see an Evelynn on the other side.
Right, but at least in my eyes, right? Like there's been a lot of times that the Evelynn got matched up into the Kha'Zix, and oftentimes we say that the Kha'Zix should have the early game advantage, but there are instances in where I see tempo advantage to the Evelynn just because of the fact that her clear speed is ahead by a little bit against the Kha'Zix. So that's definitely something that we are to look forward to at level 5 as well. The Evelynn is going to be a very scary opponent for the Kha'Zix. Then again, we are going to enter game number 2 with the same set of 5 for G2 Blacklist. Ime has yet to play.
Yeah, Carl is still back here for the side of G2B to get... I mean, the performance of Carl from this last game was really commendable just because he was able to shut down that Jax. That Jax Taku, yes, was able to get much, but he was not the star of the show that game. It was a lot more of Genza being the star of the show that game rather than the Jax. But again, it's going to be a good option here for G2B because they have a lot of damage that they could work with. And I'm really liking how they're going to be going with this composition.
With the Hextech ultimatum available for Carl, his role here will definitely be a lot different, right? Like he needs to be present in almost all team fights. It's not going to be the split push action what we've seen numerous times from Carl. I really think that the 2 Baron laners that G2 Blacklist has, Ime and Carl. I think that Carl has the better laning mechanics overall. We've seen a lot of promises from this young guy. But when it comes to team fighting, I still think that Ime has a very good grasp of what to do, when to do it, and is the perfect player to really pilot the Camille because his exec ultimatums more often than not are very on point.
His positioning whenever it comes to those big team fights, especially when it comes to the dragon fights, is so good. That's why I think Ime is good at taking team fights into his own hands. But I think what G2B wants as a team right now is just those consistent laning so that they would be able to shut down Taco in the other lane. But again, really surprised that Cerberus Esports didn't see this coming. Like, they did this during the last game, and they're doing it again, but at least Genza is going to be able to help out, but still not really going to do much.
Yeah, it's going to be a vertical jungle, and there's really no way to prevent Cerberus Esports from stealing the blue buff of G2 Blacklist, a trade, a tit for tat, as we would love to call it. But nonetheless, it's going to still be information provided, especially when Carl pops this Crying Bloom. He will be able to see the jungler of Cerberus Esports, which allows G2 Blacklist bottom lane to still play aggressive.
Yeah, what I'm really surprised of is in this meta is how Evelynn has been a really great pick for everybody, and even the Kha'Zix together with it. Because most of the time, the reason why you can see an Evelynn being a meta in solo queue is because she's a very solo queue champion, but it is working right now, and Akeno is being chased down. No HP, he's gonna be dead, and Genza is gonna be able to run away, and that's a first blood for G2B.
Okay. Let me guess. I think that's a missed combo from Akeno. Because that's the only wait, steal? Oh, KD.
Was he able to steal it? Now gonna go in. Genza is gonna be dead, and that's 2 kills already for G2B.
That's a big bonus for G2 Blacklist. They did not need the last caress, and the ultimate still being available for KD means that there could be a round number 3 here in the bottom lane. But KD and company will definitely be enjoying again another good lead. Here, I think Akeno. The only reason why
too far forward.
Yeah, he was too far forward. The only reason why he is that close is if he messed up his combo, and we did not really see it. Yeah, I think he did.
Because if he didn't mess up his combo, he could have used the headbutt a while ago. But because he didn't, he messed that up. Yeah. And that's the reason why.
And it's so hard to win against KD. Oh no!
Gonna go in again. Genza a bit too aggressive though. Whenever there's an Evelynn on the other team, you shouldn't be doing that. Look at the flash, and the last caress is available. White one a bit too late.
Yeah.
And G2B gets another kill.
Yeah, and even the Scuttler vision that provides some move speed here and there just allowed another assassination and another bonus for the jungler of G2 Blacklist. This is what we were saying, right? Like, as the Evelynn, your primary role is to be that threat against the squishy champions that Cerberus Esports has, and looks like that we are going for another invade here by G2B.
Yeah. Right now, KD is going to go again. Doesn't have the last caress, but does have the Hero's Entrance to help him out. Y1 is going to be seen. He's going to get the damage, but KD is going to survive, and that's another kill for G2B.
And again, perfectly choreographed here by G2 Blacklist. Akeno, ultimate.
Yeah, goes in. Damage. Akeno's gonna die, but they still are gonna take that blue buff, and G2B is just taking over this game.
Yeah, no mana for Aaron though, and BMM flashing in.
Yeah, too aggressive coming into their side. BMM is gonna die in the process. That's gonna be a kill, but Genza, look at them, he still survives. That Ultra Shock Laser almost got the kill in Golden Kite.
Yeah, that's just one kill for like how many champions a G2 Blacklist was able to get in that exchange. Time and time again, G2 Blacklist knows how to push their advantage to the limit, and G2 Blacklist is now enjoying a sizable lead again here in game number 2 with a good chunk of gold lead heading over to the Dragon Laner this time. This is definitely the best thing that you could hope for if you're a G2 Blacklist, right? A 1.5k advantage for the Varus.
Yeah, giving Varus all the advantage, especially in the early game, is good just because the amount of poke damage that he could deal, especially on those important times, is going to be great. Especially in this first objective, it's going to be a really good key for their side.
Perfect, right? Like, plus, Y1 needs to be careful. Just the fact that G2 Blacklist was able to choreograph that invade coming in from KD with a Hero's Entrance, draw, using the Justice Punch to really get his mark onto the Kha'Zix instead of using the taunt immediately was just perfectly played by Draw. And again, now G2 Blacklist, they do have all the luxury in the world to choose what objective they would go for.
They would want to contest though. Last caress a bit too early for KD. That might be the signal for CES to actually go in, and that's going to be the knockup. Triangle towards the Golden Kite. Akeno wants to go in. He's left alone here. Nobody's here to help him out, but he's tanking a lot of damage.
Yeah, and no more mana for Golden Kite. No more arrows to poke them down, but KD can still go for the contest.
What happened? Now Y1 is going to go in. Aaron's going to go. That damage is going to be enough. Y1 could die here in the process, but look at the back line though. Still not dead. Y1's going to go back. He's going to be taking this dragon. He's dead. What a great poke from Golden Kite, and they're still going to take the objective to their side.
I think Golden Kite was able to find some fruits, allowing him to get some more mana and HP. And Cerberus Esports, with all the desperation and with all the good plays that they were able to do in controlling that Dragon team fight, it ended up as a disaster. And now G2 Blacklist is going over to the Rift Herald.
Almost the same as what happened during game 1. G2B just taking both of the objectives and getting a 5k gold lead after this, after they used the Rift Herald in the mid lane. So that is again a great start for G2 Blacklist. I hope that they won't be able to just lose in that 10-minute fight after.
The package value again, time and time again, still needs to be respected, and G2 Blacklist was able to force Cerberus Esports into a corner. You see that piercing arrow piercing the hearts of the fans of Cerberus Esports and getting the dragon for G2 Blacklist. You're hoping for a continuation or for a very good mid game coming in from G2 Blacklist. I know for a fact that there's a lot of fans of G2 Blacklist hoping the same. So
yeah. So I really do hope that they won't be able to really throw the lead that they had this in game 1, because with this big lead that they have and the Rift Herald is still in their hands, it is still possible that they could just snowball this game out of control, especially when you have an Evelyn that is that fed.
It's all about looking at the win conditions of Cerberus Esports, right? Like, what is their win condition? Oh, hang on.
Yeah, Keno. Oh no, KD just died. Wasn't able to move after that fight.
This is what we were saying, right? Like, the Alistar and the Zyra can really crowd control the Evelyn down, very squishy, with no ultimate. There's really no way to survive. But yeah, just going back to my point, as we look into this replay, let's see. Is this going to be a Rift Herald summon?
Oh, he wasn't able to move after. What a great move.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just going back to my point earlier, right? Like the win condition for Cerberus Esports is always going to be Genza, but Genza is so gapped right now. And you're looking at the 1.5k advantage to the marksman of G2 Blacklist, to a point that Genza, even facing against Aaron, is actually at a very big disadvantage. Draw!
Yeah, goes in, goes side. Genza was able to really go away, but that missile barrage is enough.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? Like, and this is what we were saying, right? Like the amount. Golden
Kite's gonna be dead here. Hero's Entrance, perfect timing. Chain of Corruption. They're not gonna be able to move. They're so tanky that they're not gonna die even with that botch dive.
Yeah, exactly. And G2 Blacklist, again, with the value of the Hero's Entrance being at the right place at the right time, they're still able to get something positive for themselves. I really think that Cerberus Esports, they really lack a very clear win condition right now in the game, because Genza is so far behind that it's almost going to be a very tall task, impossible task for Cerberus Esports to actually come back into this game, because oftentimes when we see a comeback similar to what happened in game number 1, your carry still has a very good gold amount in him, right? But you're looking at the gold of Genza, 5.6k. Only a Keno is poorer than Genza.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about this. So if Genza wouldn't be able to find any kills here, at least get a shutdown onto Carl here on the bot side of the map, that is not going to go good for this squad, because the only thing that could carry them in this game is going to be Genza. And before the 10-minute mark, he needs to get his second item. Before that happens, I think it's going to be a tall task, but Y1 is going to be chased down by Draw, and it's still not a kill. At least they got a tower mid lane.
And now Genza is just being forced to help out Y1 in this blue buff. Not even some gold being funneled onto Genza right here, right now. I really think G2 Blacklist was able to corner down Cerberus Esports, that even if they give away a team fight or two, just as long as Genza won't be able to recover from this big hole that he is currently facing, G2 Blacklist will have this in the back. We're going to enter game number 3 with no one at the advantage.
Yep. Still have the objective 10 seconds before it comes out. I think Cerberus Esports doesn't have the position to fight this out. Good vision from the side of G2B. Yeah. Cerberus is not going to back away from this.
Yeah, and Golden Guy is just throwing some arrows, just letting making his presence felt and just poking down all the members of Cerberus Esports even before they got into the position. The BMM's value and Zyra's value will be put into display here, Dash. This is what I'm waiting for, right? Like, is Zyra really a very good pick on competitive? We are about to find out.
We should not wait for them to get that package down. So this is going to be the time KD is just going to take this for free. Cerberus Esports didn't do any action from that objective take, and G2B is just going to take that.
Yeah, and that's the second dragon out the game, leaving and pushing Cerberus Esports into a bigger hole, because now G2 Blacklist can just play it out properly, patiently, and wait for the third dragon to spawn up in the game. It's the Infernal map, which means that there is an Infernal Soul waiting to join. G2 Blacklist, that's what I would say the perfect dragon for the composition of G2 Blacklist, knowing that they have the double marksman. Just imagine the damage that is going to be unlocked by the soul if it ever joins G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, now KD, already on the top side of the map, just won't be able to find anything as long as they're gonna have a problem with that wave clear department, because on the side of G2B, it's gonna be easy enough for them to wave clear. That's why it's so hard to push for Cerberus.
Yeah, it's like the only positive point for Cerberus Esports is Taku on the Renekton, but 400 gold isn't really that big, especially knowing that this is a winning matchup for the Renekton either way, right? Like, against the Camille, you should really be winning hard. Draw?
Yeah, Genza. They're not going to go for the flash, though. They use the exhaust on KD. That's enough for them to push the top side of the map.
I feel for Genza. Genza is not being allowed to play.
Yep, goes in, hook shot, backline. Y1 is going to be the target. Hero Sense is going to be used, and that's going to be a knock-up to their side. Y1 survives. They still have a Kennel on their target. Stoppable Will is just going to be enough for him to survive for just a bit, but that's still a kill onto their side.
Yeah, even the Renekton got assassinated by KD and Aaron, and they're looking at the baby Baron. This is going to be a very juicy target.
Yeah, there's going to be a Baron being taken because Y1's so far away, doesn't have the HP to contest this. Genza is going to be seeing what's happening here. 2k HP is where they're going to be leaving it. But Y1 is not going to get even close here because Draw and Carl are just using themselves as walls.
Yeah, very methodical approach by G2 Blacklist. A very good Baron secure by them overall. 3 towers to 0, and that's just going to double very, very soon. Just in time for them to open up the map and, you know, further their goal lead for the potential Dragon Soul. I guess this is already in the bag. G2B got this.
Yeah, especially if they don't really need to be as fast as they could as what happened during the last game, because once they slow down, that is when Cerberus Esports would be able to go back. But now everything is stable. G2B is just taking the game slow, and once they get there, it is going to be okay. Their best objective is to shut down Genza, and they did it already. That's enough.
Exactly, right? Like, he was not allowed to play the Wild Rift here in game number 2.
Can't even play.
Cerberus Esports. Oh, a Kennel.
Yeah, Ken goes in for the dive with a combo, but still not going to be enough for them to do anything much. With this Baron, this is going to be a free tower in the top side and even in the mid lane, so G2B is just going to take it for a free. But top bot side, though, goes in for the Hero Sentence. Still got the kill, but at least they got a 1-for-1.
It's a 1-for-1 now. Draw has to be careful. It's getting targeted. KD will still be very mobile, avoiding a Kennel at all costs. Aaron!
Oh, goes in for the 1v1. Y1 was able to run away. Aaron goes in for the flash, but he wasn't able to see where Y1 is. Genza, I think he wants to get some kills though. Still gonna follow through, but right now KD is gonna be running away. This mid lane is for free for G2B, and they're just gonna take that tower down. But right there onto the back line, Genza wants to go for the fight. Still gonna go for the slow. Y1 is gonna go for the void spikes, but Genza is still not successful in getting his first kill. Golden Kite wants to go for a 1v1, and that is gonna be a shutdown for Cerberus.
Yeah, allowing KD to survive, that I believe is the goal. Sacrificing himself in the process, because it's all about getting the soul that is about to spawn up in 20 seconds, more or less. And yeah, we're looking at the state of that game. Yeah, sure, Cerberus Esports was able to finally get the shutdown kill against Demon Kite, but Demon Kite has yet to buy an enchantment, which means that he can still buy a teleport to join his team if needed. So yeah, Cerberus Esports is still in a very big hole.
Yeah, they can still go for a fight though. Keno. Okay, they got to slow down. Now this is going to be a time for Cerberus to try. This is going to be their last chance. Once this soul goes to the side of G2B, that's going to be the end of it for the side of Cerberus.
Teleport.
Yeah, goes into the teleport for the back line though. Keno goes in for the knockup. Carl goes in. Y1's going to be his target. They're going to be getting the soul. No, they're not going to be getting the soul. PMM is going to fall down, and this is still Cerberus just going to fall down one by one to the side of G2B. Nobody fell down. Keno is going to be next, but he's going to be left alone here just to defend for himself.
Yeah, and that's the evening team fight that G2 Blacklist needed to finalize everything. It's a 1-1 after game number 2.
It's a very slow game, but again, it was just G2B just taking the advantage from minute 1, or rather minute 5, until the end of that game.
It's a wire-to-wire game, right? Like the moment that it started, and the way they played around their bottom lane this time, not allowing Genza to